Colorado, just Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's 80 degrees with sunshine and a few clouds. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Jerry Kelly swings next-day installs no matter how late you call. And because they work later every day, they're faster when your equipment just needs fixing, too.
That's MVP material.
Yep, simple fix or a full install. Nobody gets you comfortable faster.
JerryKelly.com.
This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. And by Anderson Hospital, a Newsweek World's Best Hospital. Now, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Well, now that we have your attention, the Gashouse Gang here with Chris Ranji, I'm Tom Ackerman. Got a lot of attention yesterday on the show, and we really appreciate that. Not only our viewers, but our colleagues in the media who listen to the show and also, cited us and put out what I thought were some very open, honest, and eye-opening comments from Brant Brown, the Cardinals hitting coach, who was invited by not us, but Ollie Marmol. Cardinals manager was the one who actually arranged that, truth be told. He said it on this show a week ago. He said, look, I'd like to do something, bring back what I did with Dusty Blake, where I bring a member of my staff along with me, and we talk about the development of players and tell you really what's going on. And he wanted to take us behind the curtain. So, of course, we took him up on that. And, boy, did Brant Brown, and to use a baseball term, hit a home run. I mean, he just let everybody have it as to what's going on. And some of it, I think, was surprising. Some of it came off a little negative towards Jordan Walker, maybe a lot negative. And I just wanted to have a little time here for us to take a breath and get our listeners engaged, our viewers engaged. And I'll start with you, Chris Ranji, because we let Bernie have his say yesterday after the segment. But what did you take away from our visit with Brant Brown yesterday?
Well, I think what we should do is let's hear a little bit from Brant and what he had to say. And this was he didn't go straight into Jordan Walker. Mm-mm. He was asked about it. It was either you or Bernie, and there were follow-up questions about Walker specifically because, and this is very quite simple, he is expected to be, and maybe it's unfair, but I don't think it is unfair because of the draft pedigree. He is supposed to be the future of the organization. That's why he was picked. That's why he was their top prospect for a short time, a really highly touted prospect in baseball. This is a guy who's supposed to be part of your future. So our interest in his progress and his development makes sense. We're not putting undue focus on him. There's a reason there's a lot of focus on him. And we talked to Brant Brown about his development so far.
On his daily structure level, is at some point in time, he's going to have to devote kind of more focus on preparation. We've had long conversations with this, is not only looking at film on the starter, but also being able to come in and the first day of a series, just take a look at all the bullpen guys, all the information and videos available, just so we're not getting snuck up on when a guy comes in. On the execution point, I think not only Walk, but as a team, we have a tendency, and here's a funny story, is that they start using the word, I'm going to sell out to this pitch and sell out to that pitch. And I called a timeout. I'm like, listen, can we just say we're going to be all over or ambush or take a shot at? Because when you guys say sell out, you literally sell out, which means that they throw a rosin bag, you're looking for a heater, and you're doing a swing and a pirouette coming out of the box. So can we just maybe define that a little bit more, with intent? And the funniest thing is Yvonne was going to face Suter the other night in Cincinnati. He's like, oh, I'm going to sell. And he goes, I'm going to ambush that fastball. So hopefully we're going to chip away at that. And that's, kind of something you can see at the plate. I think not only Walk, but as a group is historically as Cardinals is when hitters are struggling, they try to swing their way out instead of hit their way out.
What he's essentially talking about is players over-committing to certain things that they think they want to do or pitches they want to offer at, right? He's talking about I'm looking for that pitch and I'm going to crush it, as opposed to, hey, be on the lookout for this, and if you get it, then take advantage of it. which is a completely, I think it's a much more nuanced mindset, and it's a good mindset. But the biggest takeaway I took from this was, it sounds to me, and based on our conversations with Ollie over the weeks here, lately, especially lately when things haven't been going quite as well, based on those conversations, based on what we heard from Brown yesterday, it just sounds like a frustrated coaching staff, that they have ideas, that they would like to implement these ideas, and they would like players to follow them. Again, it is a very difficult thing to hit a baseball. I know that. And so what will happen is, because these players are reacting to what's being thrown to them, as I always say, you can't determine where the pitcher throws it, how hard he throws it, what kind of pitch you're getting. So you can have an offensive game plan, but you might not see anything close to the area of the plate you'd like the ball to go so that you could do your game plan, right? You're having to react. So what happens is these guys fall back on instinct and what they have always done. And it's very difficult to coach them away from that and to give them a better game plan. And it sounds to me like, with the younger players in particular, Jordan Walker, maybe they're not following the game plan the coaches are trying to give to them, or they're not doing the correct amount of prep work or enough prep work to get to that point. And that is rightful frustration. You could argue, Tom, and I'd like to get your thought on this. You could argue, well, you're the coach. It's your job to get them to understand. And yeah, that's true, but there has to be some personal responsibility on the player's part. And I remember having this conversation with Robin Ventura once. And when he was the manager, he was a manager of the White Sox, and he said, hey, these guys have to want to come in here and execute. They have to want to come in here and do A, B, and C so that they can get to D. And if they are not willing to do that, there's not much we can do for them. And there is so much truth in that, but I don't think people really truly understand that it's just not, these guys aren't being browbeat by the manager and the coaching staff. They're being given the tools to do what they need to do, and it is up to the players to do that.
Yes, and there was a lot in that Brant Brown soundbite that got my attention, and you just talked about a lot of it. You know, just go back for a minute. Jordan Walker was a first-round pick of this organization in 2020. He was a teenager. He went into a pandemic and then went into the minor league system, having that setback, first of all, for the minors that were shut down. But he did join the organization and started to work. And he actually, at one point, became not only the number one prospect in the Cardinals organization, this was a player who was, I believe, rose at one point to the number 2 hitting prospect in all of baseball.
Right.
And he actually had a little something going down in the minors. If you remember, he was hitting the cover off the ball. Everybody was raving about him. There were even some conversations pointing to him being the next one, whatever that means. I would never compare him to Albert Pujols, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But that he was going to be this next thing. And I think that he actually handled that quite well. He's a smart guy, comes from a very great family, smart parents, and I thought carried himself in the media very well. He comes up, they do change his swing a little bit. Remember, they send him back to the minors. Mm-hmm. Perhaps they rose him up too early. I'll get to I'm not making any excuses here. I'm going to get to something that I think is really important in just a moment. He gets himself back to the major leagues, and what Brant Brown said right there gets me. Preparation, not spending enough time on the pitchers you might be facing. Man, these are basic preparation things that Brant Brown was recommended by who? Albert Pujols. Nobody will ever be Albert Pujols. Nobody. I mean, maybe someday there will be one in this organization at some point, but he was, one in a million. I mean, he had the short swing, he had the unbelievable talent. But what Albert Pujols did more than anybody else, he outworked everybody. Physically, ready for the games, but also mentally, he was a video fiend, a hound. He worked it and studied pitchers like it was his job, because it was. That was his job, was to study pitchers and be prepped and be ready. Are you telling me that Jordan Walker can't do that? That is surprising to me, actually, that happened. Now, as for the approach at the plate, oh, absolutely. It's a hard game. Major leagues is a different deal. I mean, once they figure you out, you have to adjust, and he hasn't been able to adjust.
But that's part of the preparation we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at some point, I love Jordan Walker's, stature and the way that he hits the ball a million miles when he makes contact with it, but come to the plate with some aggression and an approach. I mean, he's letting balls get away. He's guessing so many times. The other day, a fastball basically down the middle, maybe on the outer half of the plate, 94 miles an hour, right down the middle, and just let it go for strike 3. So obviously he's tied up in his head right now. This, once you go public with it, that's a choice. And maybe this is the last straw to get the message out to him that he's got to get down to work and get after it.
Well,
but it is clear.
Yeah.
Like, you could hear the laughing in the background
From
that
Ollie.
That was Ollie Marmol.
Yeah.
Who was trying to be quiet with it so he didn't interrupt Brandt. But that's a release of frustration.
That's exactly what that is.
Geez, somebody, thank you. Somebody said it. And now I'm going to sit here and just take it all in.
Baseball, I don't know. I don't know that this is true, but this is how it feels. It feels like baseball, maybe more than some of the other sports, personal responsibility as a player is more important, because think about how the action starts. The action starts one-on-one. It's a one-on-one thing. So it's just you versus a pitcher versus hitter. So you both have to have a game plan. You both have to be prepared for whatever, which means you got to take a lot of responsibility. 95% of the responsibility is on you. How are you going to approach your plate appearance? What are you going to do? What are you looking for? What are this pitcher's tendencies? If you're an offensive player, that's all on you. And all a team and coaching staff can do is give you the information. Yeah, they probably have to find a way to deliver it that you can process it and use it and not be, inundated with too much of it so that you're cloudy and you don't know what to look for and what not to look for. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think maybe you just got a player who doesn't quite get it yet. And I've talked to him too, once or twice, and he seems like a great dude, really great in interviews, super nice guy. That doesn't mean that he's doing everything that needs to be done behind the scenes to be ready every night. And it's not even to say that he's being lazy, because I don't even know if that's true. It might just be that he doesn't quite understand what he needs to be doing and thinks the way he's been doing it is the right way to do it. None of us know that for sure, except the coaching staff probably knows for sure.
And they know who is doing it and who isn't, because he's not the only one.
Of course. He's not the only one. But he's at some point, you've got to be good to these younger players who get called up at like 20, 21 years old, because that is a very young age to be thrown into the big leagues. But all of the guys who end up succeeding are able to have personal responsibility, and they do work hard like Albert did. That's what they do. That's how all these guys have talent when they get called up, but it's how you realize the talent. It's the preparation. It's getting to that point. You have to do the other work. You can't just rely on your talent. So I don't know if that's what's going on here, but it sure sounds like it's a player who is not quite doing the work that he needs to be doing. Again, not to say he's lazy, but that maybe he's just not going about it the right way yet.
Well, it's really something when the hitting coach and the manager are sitting right there nodding in agreement and actually chiming in on the show at the same time. If you want to go back to the podcast, any podcast has Gashouse Gang at this point, you can listen to the entire thing, but it's really something when your superiors go on the show and say something like that. You and I have covered managers and coaches our entire lives. They always say, almost always, they'll say, well, but he's been let me tell you something. This guy's been in the gym. This guy's been on the ice. This guy's been in the weight room. This guy's he's been working at it. He gets in here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They default
to defending their guys.
He's the last person to leave. So I can tell you he's working. He's working on it. That did not happen here. And they kind of put it on themselves. We have to do more to unlock him, but they absolutely put it on Jordan Walker yesterday, not to single somebody out, but it's the one that got everyone's attention. And it's the one that we were anticipating was going to get everyone's
Look,
attention.
man, it's baseball. 95% of it is on him. It's on Walker. And I do like the guy, and I still do think there's a good player in there and potentially a franchise player for years to come. But at some point, it is on him and not the coaching staff. He's going to have to figure it out.
Coming up in about 10 minutes, we're going to talk to somebody. You talk about someone who outworked everyone. All he did was work his entire career to get to where he is. Ozzie Smith will be on the show at 12:30. We'll also hear from Ron Krzyzewski, the CEO of Stiefel. Big event for him this weekend, the Stiefel Charity Classic in Norwood Hills, and Chase Briscoe, who we got lucky on that one. We booked him, and then he went out and won the Southern 500.
Nice.
And got himself into the next round of the NASCAR playoff race. He comes in hot into the Enjoy Illinois 300, all on the back half of the show. But when we come back, we'll take some of your questions and comments about what we heard, what we've talked about, Cardinal baseball. Cardinals have a game tonight. They won yesterday, by the way, 2-1.
Oh.
Miles Michaelis, nice little pitching performance. Ivan Herrera hit a bomb, 2-1 over the A's. 6:45 start tonight for the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. Back after this.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Michael's Baths. Your bathroom might be small, but fixing it can feel huge. Cracked tiles, outdated fixtures, and that tub that's seen better days. Well, at Michael's Baths, we're going to get you the bathroom of your dreams at a price that you can afford. Mike usually comes in 30 to 50% less than the national companies. He is local. He is family owned and operated. He's done this for 30 years, and he is a great guy. 636-775-0800. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live, it's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News & World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour with lunch or to RSVP for our senior prom on September 24th with live entertainment by the Backstreet Cruisers. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. Openphone.com/TRY.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contract. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the Gelman team of eXp Realty. If you want immediate cash for your home or to see what your home is actually worth in today's market, find out for free from the local experts. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
It's this one hard to left center field. Soderstrom and Butler going back at the track, looking up at the wall. This one is gone. and a Von Herrera home run, a 2-run shot, and just like that, the Cardinals turn a 1-run deficit into a 1-run lead. It's 2-1 Redbirds.
Good to hear Matt Pauley get some play-by-play yesterday. Gashouse Gang member. He got the call there of the home run from a Von Herrera as the Cardinals beat the A's 2-1 with Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. Welcome back to the Gashouse Gang. We're sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, and by Anderson Hospital. We were discussing last segment, sort of recapping what we heard yesterday, a story that, and we'll thank the people, some at least that I saw. There were other radio stations, TV stations that were quoting our show and Brant's visit. Katie Wu, Derek Gould, I saw, both wrote about it. I'm assuming John Denton, who's been very good to us, also wrote, as well as some other bloggers out there. So thank you so much for the coverage of the Gashouse Gang. We'll keep it coming. Ollie Marmol's going to bring more coaches to take us behind the scenes of what's going on with this team. But also, Chris, Ollie Marmol, and you can set this up, did talk a little bit more about the Jordan Walker situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we were talking about him, a moment ago when we were discussing him, clearly he and Brant Brown are on the same page on this one. But we did ask him what reason there is to be. So again, it's not all bad as it pertains to Walker. There is still a ton of promise in that player, and I have not given up on him. Clearly, the Cardinals have not given up on him, nor should they. And Ollie gave us reasons why there should be optimism around their top pick from years ago.
Here's what I would say. There's a combination of talent, but also I do feel, to what Brownie said earlier, there's going to be buy-in, and there's a level of aptitude there that'll allow for it. He's young, and when you first get here, it's easy to have success. That's why I love when talking to Yadi and Albert, and these guys have been around for a while, man. Like, they'll tell you, getting to the big leagues isn't the hard part. It's staying at the big league level, because once these guys start to figure you out, it's very difficult to continue to flip the script and prove that you can stay. So Walker did have a little bit of success when he first came up here. And once they know how to pitch you, they just double down on that until you prove that you can combat it. And he hasn't shown the ability to do that yet. So I feel like there's enough talent there where I'm nowhere close to giving up on a Jordan Walker. There are adjustments to be made. There's a commitment to the pregame work that can get to a better level. And Brownie spoke to that earlier. But I'm nowhere close, and I'll let Brownie speak as well, to giving up on this, because he can improve his move to the ball. He can improve his preparation, and those two things could lead to success.
And you heard Brown talking on the show a little bit more about Walker, and some of the things that he highlighted there was preparation, approach at the plate, and all of those things. Again, you can go back and listen to the entire thing. But yeah, Ollie Marmol is going to tell it like it is. And look, they are in charge, so it's falling under their watch, but it does get frustrating, I'm sure, for the entire staff, no matter what it is. If you're fielding, if you're pitching, if you're hitting, if you're not doing the extra work. But also, he said there's a level of aptitude there. So that does come with experience, but also, it has to be unlocked from you, and the coaches will do all they can. I do get the impression that Brant Brown is frustrated, but also that he wasn't even close to giving up on any of those players. He is working around the clock to try to find. I loved when he said that Herrera said, yeah, I'm going to ambush. I'm going to sell out. I mean, ambush.
Yeah. Right. So like the buy-in is starting a little, and that's the thing about buy-in, is that for some people, it takes a little bit. You're not going to just right away, yeah, coach, whatever you want. What can I do? When you've been successful your entire career, which got you to the big leagues in the first place, your thinking is, well, I'll just keep doing it the way I've been doing it. Why would I do anything differently? I'm here, right? And it's really tough to go against that. If somebody gives you you've been doing it this way, but here's maybe another thing you should try. That's really difficult to now pivot and go that direction. And aptitude is a really important word, because that means he gets it. He does get it, and eventually will be what they want him to be in terms of preparation. That's what it tells me. So, like I said, and I don't think many of us have completely given up on him, because he is still very young and still has a long way to go. But you'd like to see more progress quicker. And maybe that's unfair, Maybe that part is, but I just want to see that he's moving in the right direction. Out of the All-Star break, looked like he might be. It was about a 2-week stretch where he looked really good up there, and it just hasn't quite been that way since. So he's going to have a lot of adjusting to do, and I trust that he will take that personal responsibility and get to work on it.
Nolan Gorman is a player that does seem to be turning the corner a little bit. He's starting to do some things that I think are exciting, I would say. He was also a first-round pick. That was in 2018, believe it or not. It was that long ago that Nolan Gorman was a first-round pick. And then there's this guy, J.J. Weatherholt. He is the first-round pick from this past year. Chris wants to know why, not Chris Ranji, but Chris Tomerlin, one of our listeners, why is Weatherholt not up and playing every day after roster expansion to prep for next season? I would say that this is the time of year that we are looking at our phones to see if any news is breaking on such a player, if the Cardinals are going to make that move. I could go either way on that. I'd love to see him, obviously, selfishly want to see him. Think it would be a lot of fun. I also just want to see him, period, in spring training, competing for a spot and pushing people and probably being a starting infielder for this team. That's my anticipation. At the same time, Chris, I'm going to be really careful not to say that J.J. Weatherholt is the savior of the organization, that he's going to come in and change everything. Because, again, big leagues, I know he's awesome, and I love his makeup and everything about him, and I've watched him a ton, and I love his college experience at West Virginia. But as soon as we bring these guys in and say, that he's the next Chase Utley or whatever, you got to remember there will be an adjustment period even for J.J. Weatherholt at this level.
Yeah, and I guess the argument for doing it right now is maybe start that adjustment sooner, get them up here sooner so that we get to look. Some rookies will come up and have an immediate impact and look great, and then they will get figured out over the course of months or weeks or months. That does happen a lot. And then it's about adjusting to the adjustment. Okay. So the argument would be, let's accelerate that process and get it going now so that he has his first taste of the big leagues. Opponents can get an idea of him and then try to adjust to what his tendencies are. And then he has to readjust to that. Right. So if we start that clock sooner, then he's going to be more, he's going to be better sooner. Right. That's what everybody wants. I don't know if this month accomplishes that. I mean, I don't know if you're going to get all that in 4 weeks here.
We've gotten to a point in Cardinal baseball where we're leaning on minor league players to carry this team into the next generation. It's just not there. There will come a time where they have supplemented, they have the depth, but right now it's where they are. There's not a lot of depth. There's not a lot of star power. And the biggest star on this team, aside from Mason Wynn, who I think is a legitimate star and is going to win the Gold Glove at shortstop, it'd be a crime if he didn't, is J.J. Weatherholt. He's probably the biggest star right now that everybody is waiting to see, that would actually purchase a ticket to see. And even then, it's not going to fill the seats, but that's where we are right now as the organization. And I would caution everybody to not heap too much on J.J. Weatherholt, but something tells me the kid can handle it. He just has that about him. Really looking forward to it. We have Ozzie Smith coming up on the show. It is the Gashouse Gang. It is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, and by Anderson Hospital. But right now I want to talk cars if I can for just a moment. Genesis of St. Charles, located at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peters, is the spot. It is the place. Everybody knows that by now to get a Genesis. It is the number one Genesis dealer in the state of Missouri. It is the first standalone Genesis dealership, the first and only in the state of Missouri. You can also, Genesis, I'm so emotional about it, I'm getting choked up. Genesis of St. Charles, it's a luxury vehicle, so you can purchase it, and it comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet. It comes with vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner at no additional cost. All of those things are wrapped into your Genesis purchase. So if you're in the market for something new, check out genesisofstcharles.com first. Look at the vehicles, then test drive them. Believe me, you'll love them. genesisofstcharles.com.
At 5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are visiting with Dr. Premal Thacker.
I think the key is recognizing symptoms and not ignoring them to say, oh, I think that's going to go away. So I highly encourage anyone who's listening, if they're having abnormal bleeding or hasn't seen their gynecologist in a while, to really make that appointment to ensure that you're getting the best health.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, please visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Oh, it is nice outside, 83 degrees in St. Louis. The AccuWeather Real Feel is 92. The weather is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers, an important decision, and should not be based solely on advertising.
Hi, Debbie Monterey here with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. We've worked together for more than 5 years, and I've learned a lot about you and your business. Today, I actually found out a few things I didn't know, like your home sales stats. Compared to the average agent who sells less than 4 to 6 homes a year, you actually sell a home just about every other day. And even more impressive, your business has been built on giving back to our local community, including supporting St. Louis Children's Hospital.
Thank you. Every business should have a Go Serve Big initiative. When someone makes a referral, they're helping our communities, including St. Louis Children's Hospital, which is very special to me and my family because they helped me when I had my son many years ago. Today, sellers want to sell with certainty in this uncertain market. My upfront written guarantees are my secret to selling your home fast and for top dollar.
Friends, the secret is out. Call Gloria now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Frank, did you get the mail?
Coupon, Medicare, AARP. Oh, wait, this one says open immediately.
First one in the trash.
Every day we're bombarded with messages that we don't care about. Problem is, there might be an important message in there that affects you, like retirement. For example, on September 23rd and 25th, Steve All of the All Financial Group will be hosting a Taxes in Retirement seminar at Stone Summit. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will cover it. It's a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
What about this coupon for a new lawn service?
We live in a condo.
So?
On the 3rd floor. Mom always said I shouldn't have married you.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional or guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Now through September 1st, the Labor Day sale is going on at Zero Res, 3 rooms for $119, plus a free hallway and $75 off your air ducts. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for 213 Complex, which you can pick up at Supplement Superstores. With school back in session, you're into a new routine. That routine's going to last. Make it a fitness routine as well. I know that's what I'm doing in advance of the holidays, and I'm using 213 Complex to get it done because what I'm getting is all-day boost to the metabolism, 24 hours a day. I get appetite control, which is huge for me, and all-day focused energy that comes with no jitters. So for you, just go to Supplement Superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will give you 30% off the 213 Complex. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Today, the Cards, the Athletics,
Cameron Total Access 550.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizards.
Support, and we can.
Gashouse Gang continues on KMOX, and my gosh, this is a busy week. I mean, there's so much going on right now. NASCAR Cup playoffs. We'll hear from Chase Briscoe in just a bit. Ron Krzyzewski is going to join us. We have the Stiefel Charity Classic going on this weekend. There's all kinds of soccer as well, and of course, it's Cardinals Hall of Fame weekend. And with that comes a reunion of the 1985 pennant-winning St. Louis Cardinals. And joining us is one of the faces of the franchise, the greatest shortstop to ever play the position, is Ozzie Smith, the Hall of Famer, is back with us on KMOX. Ozzie, it's great to be with you. How are you?
All right, Tom. How you doing?
Doing great. It is busy, isn't it?
How's your golf swing?
It's all right. I mean, I'm not nearly at your level, but I told you the other day I shot 93 at Belle Reve. That's good for me.
Okay, that's good.
86 at Annbriar with my wife with me. So I told her, obviously, I like playing with you. Yeah, I had some of the best golf since I played with her, and it's good. I mean, I love the game. I don't get to play as much. I'll see you at the Ted Savage tournament tomorrow. I'm going to get us started there with our opening ceremonies. It's always nice to get all the alumni and Cardinals people together, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's great.
I'm looking forward to it. It's always fun to be able to. That's one of the things that you miss the most, when you retire, is the camaraderie that you have with the guys. So looking forward to that.
Now, the question is, how's your golf game? You shooting your age?
Well, I shot 76 yesterday. I'm going out again today and trying to beat that. And, that's tough to do at Boone Valley. But I'm gonna put it to the test. But it's, my bad rounds now have gotten to right around 80. And, that's a good score if you can shoot 40 on front and the back and stuff. And so I kind of linger there.
Heck yeah, it is. It's really nice. You have a big golf event coming up next month. But before we talk about that, just your feelings getting the 85 guys back together. This is a big one now. This is the 40th anniversary of one of the.
That. 40 years. Has it been 40 years? God.
Isn't it? Now, I don't want to tell you how old I was, but I will. I was 10. That was my team. I mean, I remember 82. I remember, of course, your world championship. I was there with my dad for game 6, that rain delayed game. But when I was 10, I mean, I was in every single day, all in on the 85 Cardinals. It was a tremendous club that I think spawned a generation of fans, honestly.
It was fun. It was exciting coming to the ballpark every day, because there was, you had Vince Coleman, who was leading off, who was electrifying. And I had the honor of hitting behind him in the lineup. And many times, Tom, you've heard me tell this story that many times I hadn't gotten the bat off my shoulder and he's standing on third base, so that made life a lot easier for me when you have a player as electrifying as Vince was. And I think had he not gotten hurt with the tarp running over his leg, I think we'd have another world championship, because that was a spark that we certainly missed once we got to the series. And then, of course, Willie was Willie, and it was a fun team to be around and to play with. And it's always special when you have a chance to win with a certain group of guys. I think the 82 team probably was one of the best assembled team. I mean, from a competitive standpoint and from an experience standpoint, we had a great mixture of young and old and guys who had been there before, so that was kind of the beginning for a lot of us at understanding postseason play and what it meant and what it took. And then, going on from 82 and then having a chance again in 85, we were much more experienced and probably should have won that series. We had a couple mishaps.
Right.
But then having a chance to go back again in 87 was really special.
Yeah, an incredible time. And the man who ties that all together along with you and so many others is Whitey Herzog. And I know that he will be probably topic number one among all of you as you get together on Friday.
Certainly. And I think we all miss his leadership. And, he was really the catalyst for everything that happened there in the 80s, his coming over here and understanding how important it was to kind of build your club around the type of ballpark that you played in. And that's something I think he learned in Kansas City. And he certainly put it all together for us and gave us a chance every day. And we knew that with him, we were always going to be in a position to win. He kept us in a position to win. And he's probably one of the best at managing a bullpen and, putting a closer in and taking him out. And, one of the things that comes to mind was that day he took Todd Worrell off the mound and put him in right field, then brought him back in to pitch and stuff. And it was that type of creativity. And I think that's the kind of, those are the type of things that Whitey earned the right to be able to do those things. Every manager is not allowed to that type of freedom, but he certainly was a very, very unique manager in that aspect.
The 1985 Cardinals will be honored before the game on Friday when the Cardinals host the San Francisco Giants. Ozzie, we're a month away just about from your big event, Sunday, October 5th at the Ritz-Carlton. It's Ozzie and Friends Gala, and then your Pro-Am is the next day at St. Albans. And this is every dollar raised is to support PGA Reach's Gateway mission. Yes, it is. And,
this 16, can you believe it's been 16 years?
Wow.
And you're a big part of that too, Tom. Thank you so much for all your help and your support with this. And this year we're honoring Jackie Joyner Kersey and Dan Jansen, who are very good friends of mine. And we've gone the gamut with people that we've had. We've had Jim Furyk, we've had Reggie Jackson and Bob Gibson. We've had Eric Dickerson and Marcus Allen. We've had Eddie Murray and Cal Ripken. We've had Ryan Sandberg. We've had Whitey and Willie and Bo Jackson and Dr. J. And the list just kind of goes on and on. When I look back now, those are some really special times. And we're going to continue to hopefully bring people here that are well-renowned people who we haven't had a chance to see up close and personal or visit with up close and personal. And I think people will really enjoy this Olympic gold medals and gold glove experience that we have this year with Jackie and Dan.
Celebrating gold gloves and gold medals. It is OzzieSmithGolf.com to learn more about this great event at the Ritz-Carlton that does benefit PGA Reach. And finally, Ozzie, that has been a big part of your life. I mean, you helped bring the PGA Championship to St. Louis in 2018 based on your mission to impact lives through the game of golf.
Yes, it has. And hopefully before the end of the year, we'll be able to put some shovels in the ground and start completing the mission. And the mission certainly was to build a facility that kids in the inner city would have another facility to go to and another vehicle with which to try and better their lives and better themselves.
Appreciate all that you do for the community, Ozzie. I've said this many times. You could have lived anywhere, and you chose to remain in St. Louis and be a positive influence on our youth and people here in the area. And we absolutely love you. Thanks as always for being with us.
Thank you, and thank everybody out there for your support. And we can always use more.
There is no doubt about that. OzzieSmithGolf.com. Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith with us on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit CantorInjuryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
The legendary sound of the Doobie Brothers is rolling into town. Don't miss the show. Coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, September 4th, with special guest, the Coral Reefer Band. It's a night of timeless hits, epic harmonies, and classic rock energy like only the Doobies can deliver. Tickets are still available and can be found at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, head to KMOX.com/events.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home. 2 gig upload, 2 gig download, mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Friday night, the Kansas City Chiefs are set to kick off the new season against the Chargers in Brazil.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
Catch all the action beginning at 6 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Gashouse Gang on KMOX with Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. Ozzie Smith just joined us, and now we're joined by Stiefel CEO Ron Krzyzewski, who has his own golf event going on this weekend. It's a big one, the Stiefel Charity Classic. The Champions Tour is here. Ron, great to be with you on KMOX.
Glad to be with you, Tom. Beautiful day. Too bad you have to work.
Yeah, no kidding. How are things at Norwood Hills? Are they putting the final touches on that golf course for this great tournament?
They are. The course looks great. The weather's fantastic. I was in charge of the weather, of course, but it's been great. The Pro-Am today, Pro-Am tomorrow. So a lot of people, a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we started this by talking about what a great weekend is coming up here, and Sunday is that there's a lot happening on Sunday starting very early in the morning.
Absolutely. You went out to the course, the tournament. There's a lot going on. You know, Friday night we have OAR playing, and normally on a Friday there's been about 1,500 people, 2,000 people out here. And I think right now we're expecting 10,000. So, you know, it's going to be a beautiful weather. It's going to be fantastic. St. Louis is coming out to support golf, and that's great.
Absolutely. And you see some of those great names, Ernie Els on that list of great players, Justin Leonard, who's going to be speaking to the media. Bernhard Langer, the amazing Bernhard Langer, is out there, and just an amazing field of players. But you mentioned OAR, the concert, the tributes to Folds of Honor, everything. It is an event, Ron, that you have put on, and you have carried the torch. But the big thing here is that you're giving back to the community. It is the Charity Classic. Exactly. There's the Boys and Girls Club, Revive It, all of the charities that are benefited, mostly in North St. Louis. So it is a charity event, and so a lot of fun and for a good cause. Ron, I look at an event like this, and I think it's great for the area. It's great for St. Louis. It's PGA Tour champions. And I think always what's next. And then you beat me to it. A press release came out not long ago that you have turned this into a playoff event. That didn't take long. October 19th to the 25th. Tell us your excitement level of taking this to the next level. Well, look, I mean, it is our first year in it. And then the tour came to us and asked us if it would be the first round of the Schwab Cup. So that's starts with the 72 top players on the tour that will compete for the Schwab Cup. So we moved to October. It'll be a elevated event from the tour's perspective. And again, just great for St. Louis. And the tour told me, they said, there's one place we can count on for the fans to come out, and that's St. Louis. So they were thrilled to offer to us and thrilled that we took the spot. It is the 6th annual Stiefel Charity Classic. It is a tournament that features some of the legends of the game, and it's Friday through Sunday, although those pro-ams are going on right now and a lot of buzz going on. A lot of celebs are getting involved in the Stiefel Charity Classic as we head towards that beautiful weather weekend. Ron Kraszewski, CEO of Stiefel, thanks for taking a few moments. We can't wait. Get out there and get some tickets and go see these players. I expect to see you guys out here. All right. So, get up and get out here and we'll have some fun. So I'll see you guys out here. Have fun. I'll be all over it. I look forward to it.
Didn't even know I was invited.
Yeah, you are. You're invited.
Awesome, man.
You're invited. You're invited to come out to Norwood. Ron Kraszewski with us. Another big event this weekend is the Enjoy Illinois 300 NASCAR Cup playoff race happening at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Boy, did we hit the lottery here. The winner over the weekend of the Southern 500, Chase Briscoe, who's excited to be around a great racing community.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's just so many motorsports fans in that area. And you have, honestly, like I was saying earlier, there's so many just, little dirt tracks right there within, an hour and a half driving distance of even just the cup tracks. So, yeah, I know for me, it's always cool when we come there because I'll normally try to get to one of the dirt tracks and, either race myself or just go and watch. And yeah, I mean, it is a short little drive over from, Indiana. I'm from, 25 minutes south of where Indiana University is. So definitely know, a lot of people from there that are coming this weekend. And yeah, it's just, it's going to be a special weekend for sure. This is Chase Briscoe, who just won the Southern 500 and on his way to St. Louis, Madison, Illinois for the Enjoy Illinois 300. And final thing for you, Chase, I mean, this is playoff time now. So this is our first experience with the playoff race, our 4th cup race. What is the difference from a driver perspective and what can fans expect? I think they can just expect way more intensity. I mean, when the playoffs come around, the intensity just ratchets up. The chaos kind of gets a little bit higher. I feel like, the restarts, everything is just, there's way more intensity to it because there's way more on the line. And, not to say in the regular season, we're not all going for it because we certainly are, but just the give and take kind of gets thrown out the window, I feel like, when the playoffs finally come around. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, how that looks at St. Louis, just because St. Louis is a track where, typically you do have to give and take some. So, yeah, it'll the restarts will be wild. Just the racing in general will be wild. Guys will have shorter tempers and everything else because they have the urgency because of the playoffs. So, yeah, I think it'll be an incredible race this weekend for sure. We're looking forward to it. Chase Briscoe with us. He'll be in the Enjoy Illinois 300 Worldwide Technology Raceway this Sunday at 2:00 is when it all gets started. But as you well know by now, it's a weekend of activity here in the St. Louis area. Chase, thanks so much. Joe Gibbs Racing, good luck to all of you over there. Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Chris, 2 monster events, NASCAR PGA Tour champions. On top of that, Cardinals, City, the Bronze Boot. I mean, St. Louis Art Fair. There's a million things going on this week.
Get starting Thursday morning, man.
Mizzou KU. Man.
Let's go.
Thanks for joining us on the Gashouse Gang. We'll see you tomorrow.
Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. Draft